Hey guys, welcome back to Kristen and Katie Read. I'm Kristen.
I'm Katie.
And we like to read. In our last book review, we discussed the details of Rule of Wolves by Lee Bardugo. So if you're interested in checking that one out, I will link the video here. Today is the day, Katie. We are finally going to be discussing this hunk of a book.
Oh my gosh, 600 some odd pages.
58 pages. The Crown of Gilded Bones by Jennifer Armentrout. This is book 3 in the Blood and Ash series. This is going to be spoiler filled, so if you have not read the book and you don't want anything spoiled, turn back now. For the big releases of 2021, we're doing these really fun 100-page in reactions and prediction videos. And this one I have a feeling is really funny because we were so wrong. We're so wrong about so many things. So if you're interested in watching a video about things that don't happen in a book, I'll link that video up here.
It's hilarious at how wrong we are.
Yeah. But you know what? Because this is a long series, I'm holding on to some of those predictions.
Agreed. But some of the things we thought were immediately going to happen after 100 page mark, hilariously wrong.
Like, we're saying it as though it's fact in that video. It's great. So anyways, we'll link that if you guys are interested in checking that out before this video. We're going to do a quick synopsis, our reactions. We have not really talked about the book yet.
No, we haven't.
I literally finished it last night at like midnight. And then our predictions, ratings, and our predictions for the next book.
Absolutely. Let's dive in.
Okay, so we have noticed in our book reviews, we give a really long synopsis. So we're going to challenge ourselves. We're going to try to do a 3-minute rundown of this entire book.
Go. Okay, so we open right where we left off. Poppy has killed lots of people.
They're dead!
They're dead. They were trying to kill her. They are attacked. Hawk is hit by an arrow. She thinks he's dead. She is taken prisoner by none other than
one of the Wolven,
Alistair.
But guess what? The bond has not snapped because now the Wolven are bonded to Poppy, but he hasn't transformed into a wolf in a long time, so he's not. Flash forward, he's a part of a group that is trying to take her down because of her blood.
They know her true parentage.
Yes. Shockingly, she does not, nor do a lot of other people who claim to. Then what happens?
Next.
They break her out.
They break her out.
When Alistair's trying to trade her to the Ascended.
Yes, Poppy.
They save her.
But
they fuck in the shower.
No.
They do!
That's not it. Oh. No, really important. Poppy is killed.
Oh, you have to think. No, that's after, Katie.
No, it's whenever they're
Oh,
saving
no, you're
her.
right. You're right. When they're saving her from the Ascended, Poppy is killed.
Yes,
and then
because she was a
Castiel,
little bit too cocky.
making the poorest decision of all time, is like, I would rather ascend you and risk everything than have you die. That's right, Basher. That's right. It's not cool.
She would rather die than live without John B.
And so she wakes up not ascended.
Her eyes totally fine, but she's still very bloodlusty. So she tries to eat Kieran.
Yikes. Then they fuck in front of all their friends. In a
bloodlust passion, fucking in front of Kieran.
Then they're like, she's actually the queen, so we gotta arrange this whole coronation thing. We have 1 minute and 10 seconds left.
Okay.
They're like, but not too formal of a coronation, you know, because at an inappropriate time, war is brewing.
Right.
The queen wants you dead because, actually, guess what? Your dad's Malek. Shoot, not the brother. Not
Malek.
Malek, who is a deity, the son of Niktos, a god. Stick with us. Then what happens?
I don't know where you went.
Where do they go?
Then they do
a secret meeting with her brother, but I don't know why. And he's like, the queen is not what you think. She's not going to agree to, because they want to meet up with the Ascended.
So they want to meet up with the Ascended. They meet up with Ian. Spoiler, all of this. He's good.
Yes, which we thought he was bad. They want to meet up with the Ascended to try to stop war. And then in this meeting, the queen is like, chaos. I actually loved Malek, whatever his name is. And Cass's mom broke us up in a rad mage, so I'm going to get revenge, and we're going to war, and then decapitates Ian. And then somehow she overpowers Poppy, and Castiel's like, I'll do anything if you don't harm her. She passes out, wakes up, Castiel kidnapped.
Oh, and his brother, evil.
Evil, working with the other queen, and then to get revenge on the queen, Poppy asked to meet with the king, who's married to the blood queen,
Isbeth,
and decapitates him.
Lots of head bodies.
We find out that we're vibrating. We've gone over. Poppy is actually a god. Her true parents are Malik's twin brother and Queen Isbeth, because the Blood Queen is actually Isbeth. Oh, and she has now Nyktos' like army people are sired to her.
Yes, the Guardians or the Dragons.
So we're going to war, baby.
We're going to war.
You were too much. Okay. That's
what we're saying
3
to
minutes.
Poppy and Castiel. You are too much.
Oh my gosh, Katie.
We didn't even talk about them visiting the gods either.
Oh yeah,
they went to the land of the gods.
Okay, it's too much for us to
too much.
recap.
Honestly,
Let's just discuss our reaction.
It's too much for this book. This book is too long. I'll say it.
Yeah, and then a bunch of info dumps that aren't real. So it's hard to keep track of what's true and what's not because they give you a lot of false narratives.
Right.
I don't mind a plot twist. That wasn't a plot twist.
But there are so many info dumps of who her true parents are
and
what happened to them, where they are. Nyktos clearly knows everything, and he's like, I'm not going to give you a lot of information, but here's some information. Mm-hmm. So, like, the people that we want to hear information from, they aren't giving it.
Not interested.
And then the people who are giving all the information are giving us lies.
Katie, what would you rank the steaminess of this book? Because I will remind you, it is a romance fantasy.
Yes, it is a romance fantasy, and I would rank the romance in this maybe like a 6 out of 10.
I thought you were going to say a 6 out of 5, and I was like, you lost
like
it!
a 6.9 out of 10.
Okay, I would say they try to hit you with it in the first 200 pages is where you get most of it.
Yes.
And then, honestly, for a book that's almost 700 pages and only from Poppy's perspective, like, watching them hook up gets, like, I kind of wasn't even missing it. I was just like,
yeah,
I've seen them do it a lot.
And, like, having them, like, watch other people do it.
They watch other people do it. They do it in front of other people. Then they hook up at a wedding dancing.
Watching a threesome.
Oh, my God. The blowjob.
The blowjob.
Poppy gets her first blowjob.
Which is wild. I couldn't believe that she hadn't done that already. Also, Poppy says, I love you for the first time in this book.
Because we made it 3 books. They're married. They're married because they wanted to get married. Not like it wasn't like if we don't get married now, the whole kingdom's gonna fall apart. It was literally like we want to get married.
Right.
And they didn't say I love you until then. Well, she didn't.
She didn't say I love you.
It's a big storyline in this book.
Wild.
We had both forgotten that happened.
I know.
So
she said it. I was like, sure.
Yeah.
And he was just
like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, you've told him that 100 times.
I never thought you'd say that to me.
Marriage blessed by the gods, mind you. Blessed by the gods. Yeah, wild.
Oh my gosh. There's as much biting in this book as Bash is currently doing.
Oh. Her powers, though. Let's discuss Poppy's powers because she has a lot.
A lot of them. Some might say too many for one person.
Yeah. I mean, she's a god, I guess.
She does a lot. So she can heal people.
Mm-hmm. She can kill people.
She can
turn
bring
them to
back
ash.
the dead.
Oh, yeah. Necromancy. Not a problem in this universe.
Not a problem.
I wonder if it will be a problem. She can also,
Yeah.
what is it called? The ether? Where she can, like, summon. It's the ether, right? Like the misty stuff. The ether. So she, like, raised Kieran's sister up. Floated her out of a tunnel.
Oh, yes.
She can, like, manipulate matter in some sort of way.
Yes.
That she doesn't really understand, so can Isbeth. Isbeth thinks she's a god, but she's not a god.
No, but she's something because she was made by a god.
Right.
So she's not ascended.
Yeah.
That's what has come out.
So, a question that may have been answered in the book that neither of us can recall is how did the first ascended get made if it wasn't Isbeth? Because we thought it was her.
Well, we thought it was her husband made her the first ascended.
Right. So if she wasn't, then who made the first ascended?
Or not her husband, Malik.
Yeah. So how did she not know? Because he's a twin brother? So was she hooking up with the twin and didn't know it was the twin?
The twin thing was a twist. That was one of the twists for me.
I think that twist came up because she's about to release a new book about the gods, and Malik was going to have a twin brother. Like, I think that's probably why. Don't you think?
Yes. Okay, let's talk about the brothers really quick.
Okay. Finally, we waited 3 books to see both Poppy and Hawk's brothers. And we meet them in the same scene.
We do. And
tunnel meeting.
The person you think is going to be bad is good, and the person you think is going to be good is bad.
I had a feeling the whole time that Malik was not bad. Because Castile was like trying to save him, and I'm like, he doesn't need to be saved because he is sided with him.
I kind of thought that maybe both of the brothers were going to be evil.
So did I. I was shocked when Ian was not.
Yeah. And then Ian somehow like kept his humanity.
And then died immediately.
Immediately.
Like, he literally only existed for Poppy's emotions, but we never got to know him, so, like, his death has no meaning to me.
Yeah, no, none at all. I mean, I didn't think about it for 1 second.
No. Love that Tawny's back. Love Tawny.
Love Tawny.
Only part, really, one of the only interesting parts of the first book, the first half of the first book, was her relationship with Tawny.
Yes, agreed. Tawny being back is great.
Oh my gosh. The sex book. Willa.
We get to meet Willa.
It's a huge storyline that Willa is an Atlantean who's on the council and all this stuff and wrote smut books.
This notorious journal about her life
that Poppy loves to learn about sex in. I'm confused by it.
I will say
it's a huge storyline.
It is a huge storyline that I think like she was like, okay, obviously I'm gonna need like someone on the council that you've heard of before. I'll make it this person who's been writing this book.
And she should be sexy.
So sexy. She's just done it all over the continent.
She's given a blowjob. You heard it here first.
She has, just like our Poppy, our young Poppy.
Our young Poppy has popped her oral. Yikes! Oh my god. We had to come to the corner for this chat because it's such an intimate discussion. So intimate. And we were lazy and didn't want to get the other chairs.
Yeah, that's true too. But then, I mean, I will say the sex scene's not as good in this book.
Not as good, and I think it's because we spend hundreds of pages with them each book.
Yeah,
it kind of loses it. It's like you're the only person in this world that I just want so badly. You can only hear it so many times, or it's like, okay, you've already said
right. That. I was gonna say that I like that in these like fantasy romance books that one of the new tropes emerging is that like the protagonist also reads smut.
Yes.
Because we have Poppy reading smut, we have Nestor reading smut.
That's so true.
Lots of smut readers.
So a huge plot discussion leading into this book was, would there be the joining? And if you don't remember what the joining is, it's
a threesome.
It's basically a threesome that somehow gives you more power and makes someone who's mortal be able to live a lot longer.
So if you have adventurous sex, you get to live longer.
That is the moral of the whole story. I think she wrote the whole series to tell us that if you have threesomes, you will live longer.
Yeah.
You heard, that's the title. Threesomes equal longer life.
Not random thirds.
No, it needs to be your best friend. Your best friend. Your man's best friend. Anyways, it's a threesome.
So now...
That didn't happen. But she's no longer mortal, which I guess she never was.
Right. Now that she's been ascended, she's like come into her like god form.
But you'd have to think if you're a god, you don't need to be ascended.
No,
I think it just woke it up.
Right. And now it's for those of you who are sad that there won't be a joining, don't
hold your horses.
Don't lose hope.
Flip that switch because now she's immortal and
gonna
they're
live
not.
Much longer than Castile.
She's gonna have to join them up.
Well, I think the Wolven are now tied to her lifeline.
Yeah.
Or something. Like, they're going to be around longer. But Castile is now going to die way before her.
It's very interesting. So, now that Castile's taken and she's just with Kieran. Okay, did you feel like they had a lot of flirtiness in this book?
Poppy and Kieran?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we think that the series is going to be 6 books long. And so, I feel like it's planting a seed, no pun intended, for a joining later.
Yes.
Also, I thought this book at the 100-page mark that Poppy was going to have to get on without Castile for a while.
Right.
And then he's back like 3 pages later. And now actually going into this next book, I think she might have to get on without him for a while.
Right.
Or do you think like page 2, she's got him. She's saved him.
See, that's hard because we were so wrong in the first 100-page review. Or like talk that I think no matter what I think will happen, the opposite will.
Yeah, okay, perfect. You heard it here first.
I know how books work. Okay.
Let me go ahead and book explain to you.
Okay.
What you think will happen won't. Go ahead and jot that down. Okay.
You think you know who her dad is? You're an idiot. You're an idiot if you think you know who her parents are.
You hid my underwear. I'm wearing
Everything you own. Poppy and Hawk really bring out maybe the worst side of each other.
Yes, yes. Unlike Castiel's parents, who are willing to put aside all of their personal feelings to save the kingdom, minus when his mom sabotaged Isbeth. Okay, hundreds of years ago.
Yeah, bygones.
It's fine.
I just remembered something about Isbeth.
Okay.
Which we'll talk about in a second.
Castiel and Poppy are willing to do anything just for the other person, even if that means lives lost.
And then think that they're going to be like ruling well.
Right.
But also, with them being separated, it doesn't really take away from either of their personalities, which would be an interesting dynamic. Like, whenever other couples who are fighting that part of them that goes to the dark place, and their partner is the one that's like, stay in the light, do the right thing, be that person.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever they're separated, there are stakes because the person who could be dragged down by their darkness is left to their own devices.
Meanwhile, these two
are just equally stabby, I'll murder you.
Yeah.
So it's like,
you have to think they're both still going to be murdering.
on their own, separately.
Just maybe potentially less sex. So for a romance novel, interesting.
We did learn why Isbeth is so hell-bent on revenge, because Castiel's mom murdered her son.
Oh my God. I thought it was just because she stopped her from being with Malek, but they had a kid together.
Yes. And then it's not that that Castiel's mom killed him personally, but the war killed him.
So okay.
They got the twin.
So then she got the twin because she wanted to basically have her dead lover, sleeping lover's husband.
Right, and no one knows where Malek is.
Right, but Malik's still alive. Doesn't he know that Isbeth is still alive? But she still sabotaged them so that they were split, but she loved him. Not really sure why Malek
and then she
abandoned
remarried
her. Or left her, or, you know what I mean? Why did they stop being together? Because Malek went to go take the Odin sleep? What's happening?
Convenient.
I need to reread the tunnel scene.
Yes.
So I hope that was really helpful. If anybody was confused, I hope this really cleared that up for you.
We're here to help.
We are here to give below average knowledge on a book. Let's do ratings, don't we think?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's do ratings. Katie, what is your Goodreads rating and your 1 out of 10?
So my Goodreads rating was a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
Out of 10, I would say an 8 out of 10.
I went back and forth because I gave it a 4 out of 5 on Goodreads, and I was like, am I towing that line where I would say 9? At the most, I would do 8.5.
Yeah.
But I think it's an 8 out of 10.
I
still enjoyed it. An 8 out of 10 is still good. I just when I like something, I like to give it 100 or a 1. So it's I don't like to do
I think it's just really hard because I so thoroughly enjoyed book 2.
I think book 2 was better.
I just loved it, and I thought that book 3 was going to keep the same momentum, but honestly, having their will they, won't they of book 2 made it so much more interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then now we're staring down the barrel of 3 books where they already know they love each other.
Right. And that's why I feel like it has to go to other points of view. I do think I really like her powers. I wish more people had cool powers. I want to see a cool powers battle.
Right. I agree.
Just her
it's
ending
hard.
things. It's her being screw it, and then setting off some sort of power she didn't know she had, and then the scene's over. So that kind of rounds out
our
feelings on A Crown of Gilded Bones. Again, I enjoyed it. I don't think it needed to be this long.
Correct.
I think there's so much to do in this world. I need more characters' perspectives. Because I really like Kieran. I'll give him a POV. I like his sister. Give her a POV.
Right. I understand why up until maybe the middle of book 2, we needed to be solely with Poppy.
Mm-hmm.
But now that it feels like the characters that she's with a lot don't know any more than her, it seems so limiting to be stuck with her.
Yeah. Okay. So until next time, stay incest free.
Always. This is Kristen and Katie Reed.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.